Welcome to Local Point, your life, your stories, with your host, Chris Piner.
And welcome to Local Point. I'm Dale, already in for Chris Piner this week. And joining me in the studio this afternoon is Bob Peterson and Wes Porter, who are from UBTech, to discuss this year's Ruck Run event. Gentlemen, we welcome you here.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
It's great to always have folks from UBTech here a few times a year to talk about all of the great things going on, because UBTech is such a part of our communities here in the Basin. Always a lot of things happening, but today the focus is on the Ruck Run, and so we want to jump right into that. So Wes, what is the Ruck Run?
Sure, I get that question a lot. This is our third annual Ruck Run, and what it is a tribute to our veterans on this Veterans Day, November 11th. And most of our veterans understand what a ruck is. It's pretty much that heavy backpack that we carry with all of our gear in it, whether it was for 3 or 4 days or a couple of weeks, whatever it might be, or even when we were deployed. It was that big pack that we had to carry. And when you're in the military, you hate that pack. I mean, you're carrying that around for miles and you hate it. But one thing the military teaches you, and I find this interesting is with veterans really across the board, is that when you go through something that's just terrible, it's like a ruck march where you're carrying weight for miles and miles, it brings you together. There's a camaraderie there, and veterans understand that, and they know that, and so do a lot of other people. And what the Ruck Run is, it's an opportunity to get under that ruck again and go ruck and remember some of the times we had as veterans and some of the times that we've had with our civilian lives back home and talking about it and just having a good time. And so it's just a run where we just remember the veterans, some people who's gone on, some people who stayed with us, and just remember.
Okay, great. Wonderful explanation. Tell us how it got started here. We understand why. How did it get its beginnings here at the UBTech?
A few years ago, we developed an outing in Roosevelt, the Roosevelt campus, and we would serve breakfast at the UBIC celebration in Roosevelt. And President Waite kind of gave us a charge to think of something in Vernal that would do something similar to where it's something where we give back to the community. And so much like the UBIC breakfast, although Wes Porter had a much bigger vision in mind when he thought, let's do something to celebrate the veterans. And so that was kind of the birth of it almost 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And he deserves a lot of credit. Major Porter, he's soon to be promoted to a major, is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
So he's, it means a lot to him. I mean, his heart's for the veterans, and so are all of us during that time.
Sure.
And you've been in plenty of those celebrations where we celebrate first response and veteran teams. So that's where the birth of it, and since then it's grown in popularity, and Wes and his team's done a great job.
Wonderful, great. So for those who may be not as familiar, some of the direct beneficiaries of the event, and let's talk about some of the real life impacts that this has on our area.
One of the great things about the Ruck Run, it's one of the only, there's a few different Veterans Day programs out there, but this one is turning into one of the premier ones. And what it is, the people who really benefit that is for the younger generation. What happens is we have all these different veterans from different wars. We had individuals from World War II last time, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan. They're all right there. And I can't think of a better spot to share some of the stories and some of the experiences than all these different generations of veterans in one spot. But what's great about it is that we have the civilian population coming in as well, their families. And one thing that my wife always finds interesting is, I can moan and complain about how bad a ruck run was or how bad the training was or anything like that. But when you get with your buddies that were there with you, it's really neat to see that camaraderie back. And so the beneficiaries are the veterans, but also the generations to see how veterans act, how they are with each other, and to share some of those stories and to see that camaraderie out there.
Well, that's great. You paint a great picture, a great visual of what that looks like and how it feels. And yeah, we can't do enough of that in our communities to show appreciation and to help people really feel it, to get a feel for it. So what a great way to come out and be part of that.
It's a real family-friendly event. So as Wes talks about demonstrating that in front of the public and the community, what a great thing for our kids to see, the respect we give our veterans and first response teams. So it serves a great purpose there too.
Absolutely. Well, I'm loving the information, excited about the event. We're going to come back in our second segment and get more of the details and how people can become involved and what they need to know. So when we come back, we'll be talking more about the Ruck Run with UBTech. Hope you'll stay with us.
The Vernal Area Chamber wants to add your business in our network. Create change with various committees. Participate in community events and have a strong business resource behind your company's goals. Learn more at vernalchamber.org.
We are the people behind the connection. You may never see us, but you are always on our minds. Because you are the reason we do what we do. Improving the way you connect is the reason we are always working. Why we are always building. Why we are always striving to give you the best. We are the people behind the connection, working together to connect your life.
Welcome back to Local Point. Before the break, we were discussing this year's Ruck Run from the UBTech, and we're excited to have Bob Peterson and Wes Porter here, that giving us all the details and information. We learned more about what it's about, how it came about in our communities here. Now we really get to dive into some of the real exciting details. So let's talk about what people need to know, how they register, how they get involved at this point. So before the day of the event, what are the steps? What do we need to know?
Absolutely. Well, the first thing we need to understand, this is a free event. This is a community event that UBTech puts on for the community, so there's no charge. You know, we want to have as many people there as possible. And really the way to register, there's two ways. You can go on ubtech.edu/ruckrun. You can register online. And what that does is just gives us a number of counts when we expect how many people's coming. Or you can register the day of. Registration starts November 11th on Veterans Day at 07 in the morning. It'll go to about 7:45 or 7:50. From there, they'll get all registered. They'll have the opportunity to buy a t-shirt. We got t-shirts available for purchase. All my veterans, while supplies last, all veterans get a free t-shirt while we're there, but there are some there for purchase for everybody else. They'll register starting at 7. That'll go to about 7:45. And what's great about it is that this year we've got a flag raising ceremony that's going to kick off the race.
Oh, wow.
And so a couple of our sponsors, Classic Air Med, is going to fly a helicopter in, and that helicopter is going to contain the flag. And we've got a couple, a veteran, a very well-known veteran, Wade Slaw. He'll be delivering the flag that day, and he'll be accompanied by a couple different scouts from our local Boy Scouts here, and they're going to fly it in, and we're going to see, everyone's going to be able to see the flag land. We're going to walk it over. We're going to have a great flag raising ceremony, and that's going to kick off our race starting about 8 o'clock. After the race, about 8:30, when the first person crosses, we're going to start giving our community breakfast. You know, there's nothing better than some hot chow after you've had a long run, especially underneath the ruck. And so at 8:30, we start our community breakfast. It's for the entire family. We have some pancake sausage, some OJ, Maverick Country Stores are delivering all of our wonderful hot chocolate that we have there that morning. And of course, fruits and different things like that for after a run. And that'll just go until everyone's had their fill, and we'll close it up. It'll be great.
Wow, that's great. And that's all free for people to participate. You know, that's amazing.
It's great. I had a phone call this morning from a veteran, asked me how much it costs. He says, I really want to scrape as much money as it takes to get in and do it. I said, don't worry about it, brother. Just come. You know, it's a great free event for everybody. It's going to be good.
And you know, it caters to everybody. You can be the serious runner wearing a ruck, or you can be like some of us and walk without a ruck and have an enjoyable time. A lot of family-friendly strollers, bikes, and so it's.
Absolutely.
And we have something new this year. Our marquee that's out on the corner of our property is actually going to be a time clock. So we'll start at the time, and so you'll be able to see the time when you come in and finish your race.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
It's going to be cool.
It's going to be great. You know, and just like what Bob was saying is we have different weight classes. And so when you register, you have the opportunity to register with a fun ruck, so not have any weight in it, or just an empty ruck with a pillowcase. You can run with 20 pounds, you can run with 30 pounds, you can run with 45 pounds, or you can put a team together. This is one of my favorite aspects. I've got a Utah National Guard team, and we're competing against the Sheriff's team, an FBI team, a Jensen firefighter team, a different firefighter team, and we're all competing against each other. And the team, you have to carry 180 pounds between 4 people. And I don't care how you carry that 180 pounds, you just got 4 people to carry it. You know, and we'll have first place prizes at the end. You know, it is a free event, so I mean, we're not giving away a trip to Disneyland or anything, but they're great. The prizes do come from the community, and they're donated specifically from Sportsman's Warehouse, Superior Drilling Bits. You know, they're drilling products. They're helping us out. They're one of our major sponsors. Davis Jubilee is one of our major sponsors. Mountain America. They've all chipped in to help give us just a great event, and it's going to be awesome. And so we're excited. It's going to be a blast.
Everybody receives from Superior Bit. They made the very the token or
finisher medals.
Finisher medals that every finisher will get, and that was quite a task that they performed for us. They're really cool. Besides that, Wes and his team has always had little dog tags that everybody gets. So you start collecting them after a few years. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, what a great thing. Yeah, make it a tradition, something that families look forward to every year. And what a great sense of community. You mentioned all the sponsors, people that are stepping up. there's really no reason for people to not come and participate
Right.
at whatever level.
Absolutely.
You mentioned all the different ways they can get involved, whether they have a certain weight or just for fun. Participate in the breakfast. There's no reason for people to not come out and be involved. So let's just hit the details again.
Sure.
A high level, we've got the Ruck Run happening with UBTech, and let's, Wes, just hit those details again quickly.
The Ruck Run is on November 11th, which is on Veterans Day at the Vernal UBTech campus. Registration begins at 7 a.m. Registration will stop at 8 a.m. when the race starts. We'll have a flag raising ceremony around 7:50 a.m. Race will start from 8 until concluded, because everyone has their time to take it. Breakfast will be served at 8:30, and we'll just serve the community until the community leaves there in the morning, until they have other different things to do. We'll have a little reward ceremony about 8:30 to 9 o'clock after the first people cross the line, so we can get people fed. But it's going to be a great event, and it's just going to be a blast. I can't wait. We look forward to it. People come in, I'd ask people to come in their camouflage if they want. If they want to run for a veteran, let us know. Let us know who you're running for when you register. I have a lot of people say, hey, I'm running for my dad, or I'm running for my sister, I'm running for my brother, or my son. Let us know. I think it'd be great to get those stories out, because that's what it's all about. It's all about the stories of the veterans and sharing it with the people in this wonderful community.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for taking interest in that element of our community and in inviting everyone to come and celebrate. Again, Veterans Day, the perfect place to celebrate that day and to consider deeply what we all enjoy. Thanks to those who have served. So come out, support the event. Thank you for watching Local Point, and I hope you stay tuned now for this week's community calendar.
We are the people behind the connection. You may never see us, but you are always on our minds. Because you are the reason we do what we do. Improving the way you connect is the reason we are always working. Why we are always building. Why we are always striving to give you the best. We are the people behind the connection, working together to connect your life.
The Vernal Area Chamber wants to add your business in our network. Create change with various committees. Participate in community events and have a strong business resource behind your company's goals. Learn more at vernalchamber.org.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to this week's Community Calendar, sponsored by the Vernal Area Chamber of Commerce. Contact the Vernal Chamber to get the support you need to help your business grow. Hey, happy belated Halloween. Hopefully you had a really good time. We have the annual Jensen Pumpkin Festival was, of course, this past Saturday, October 28th. VTV was there, had a really good time. Take a look.
We're in Jensen, Utah at the Jensen Community Park this is a pumpkin festival for people to come and enjoy with their families for very low minimal cost. It's actually, all the events are free. The festival started about 21 years ago as just a small little community of about 100 people that came here, just campfire and a few pumpkins. We took it over in 2010, and so we're going on our 8th year of doing this, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
I like to have good time with my son, and this is the perfect place for do that. So I like it here. I was here last year, so I can lose the opportunity to come back this year again with my friends and my little one.
Our main event is the pumpkin displays. People carve their pumpkins, bring them out, show them off. Businesses carve pumpkins to advertise for their business. We have live music, bonfire, hay maze, haunted house, just lots of activities for the kids, a little trike run, plenty of free stuff for the kids to come do, prizes at each event. It's just a good time.
This has been a really good experience for the community, not only for Jensen, but for the Vernal area and the Uinta Basin. Through the years, it just started small, and through the years, it's come a long ways.
Without our volunteers, we can't do this. And it's getting kind of harder every year. It's getting bigger and bigger, but we need volunteers.
The Sheriff's Department is here every year taking care of traffic, and we're always looking for people who want to be involved in helping us put on the event. We have a Facebook page, Jensen Pumpkin Festival. You can keep an eye on that thing year-round. And we got lots of awesome sponsors. They are the reason that we're able to continue this.
None of the money that goes to parking goes to us. It goes to the Sergeant Daniel Gurr Foundation this year. And the food booth is the only other thing you'd have to pay for something, and that money goes to that local group, which is the local 4-H club.
I really enjoy seeing the people. A lot of people I don't see except here from year to year, and being able to associate with friends and a lot of family that you get to see down here.
Have you seen pumpkins yet?
Yep.
What pumpkins do you like?
I like all the kinds of pumpkins.
One thing that this festival depends on is pumpkin displays, because it's the Jensen Pumpkin Festival. It got started to show off your displays, show off your creativity, the artist that's in you, and we just ask people to come on out next year, bring a display, because that's what this is about, and, you know, come and have fun.
I want to know, have you ever seen the rain?
Hey, good job, everybody. Some fabulously decorated and carved pumpkins out there. Seriously, there were some amazing ones. My favorite was the flaming one, just completely on fire. Did you see that for just a second? I don't know how long that pumpkin lasted. And I also liked the big pile of leaves the kids got to jump in. All right, let's get into this weekend schedule, because that's what you're here for, starting Friday, November 3rd. Look right here, what is it? If you haven't been watching Community Calendar recently, then you don't realize how awesome this event is going to be. Vernal Theater Live is presenting the musical comedy Murders of 1940. It is a comedy, play, murder mystery. A great time to take your family to bring a date to. It's not necessarily a musical. It's a little tricky. I'll explain that when you come watch a show. You need to come watch a show because I'm in it. And trust me, it's funny. It's a very funny show. It's happening Friday night and also Saturday night. It starts at 7 o'clock each night. You can get your tickets at vernaltheater.com. Theater is spelled with an R-E at the end, the old English style, right? All right. Also on Friday, if you're not going to be watching musical comedy Murders that night, because you're going to be watching it on Saturday night or some other time, then on Friday night you can also go to the Utah Fieldhouse Museum in downtown Vernal for the Night at the Museum. They're going to be showing Despicable Me 3. Great series, good for the kids, starting at 6:30 that night. Now let's move on to next week, November 6th through November 12th. Starting on Monday, November 6th, guess what it is? Vernal Theater Live presenting musical comedy Murders of 1940. In fact, let's just get through this. It's going to be here, and it's also going to be here, here, and here. So if you don't get to see it the week before, you can watch musical comedy Murders of 1940 on the Monday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday of next week. Okay, also on Monday, something very important, the Santa's Community Effort is kicking off. This is an event to give you a chance to help a family in need. You can help sponsor a child to help buy them a gift or two to make their Christmas special. You can contact Brian Gorham. We really appreciate him. He's a great member of our community, does all kinds of stuff. You get a hold of him by emailing him. His email is brian@briangorham.com. Brian spelled the way Brian is spelled. Gorham is G-O-R-U-M. Let me say it one more time, brian@briangorham.com. to submit your application to help out. And that you can submit applications all through November. Now on to Tuesday, November 7th. It's the annual Election Day Turkey Dinner. This happens every year on Election Day, happening at Western Park from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can go there and be served a turkey dinner, or you can go buy them and they put them in like little styrofoam things. You can bring a bunch back to your office with you, and everybody can have a turkey dinner. On to November 11th. Well, first, November 10th. Actually, November 9th, musical comedy Murders 1940, downtown Vernal. Seriously, it's going to be a funny show. You don't want to miss it. 9th, 10th, 11th. Now, November 11th. It's Veterans Day. What a great day. A chance for us to thank and celebrate our veterans. So please join us here at VTV6 by paying tribute to those who have served in the armed forces. Reach out your hand and say thank you. Now, also, Saturday, is it on there? Yes, it is. Okay, good. Saturday, a veterans-related event happening at UBTech. It's their annual Ruck Run. Starts at 8 a.m. with a brief flag ceremony. And don't forget, UBTech is hosting their community breakfast at the Vernal campus the same morning. What a Ruck Run is that you run with a ruck. And if you're not a military person, a ruck is what they call their backpack, right? It's more than a backpack, because me and you, our backpacks are like we put our school books and stuff. No, they put like everything in there. It's like 100 pounds. And then they run with the thing. Now, you're going to see a lot of veterans out there running with their rucks. You don't have to do that. You can just go and be with them, run with them, or cheer them on, or just walk. Take your kid in your stroller. Just go out and participate, shake a veteran's hand. And that's all that we've got. So let's talk about weather. Let's see what's it going to be like on those days. For the most part, not too bad. Weekend starts, you see some clouds here. There's chance for precipitation to happen starting about Saturday, but really the heavy precipitation is going to happen Sunday and then again on Monday, overnight, from PM showers on Sunday to AM showers on Monday. Our temperatures, however, are during the day not going to be so cold that it's snow. We're not getting snow yet. Maybe. There's like this little tiny chance that maybe overnight, if it's still raining, because the temperatures do drop down into the low 30s overnight. More likely what's going to happen is that it's going to rain, and that rain is going to freeze on the road. So when you get up Monday morning, be super careful driving around. But then your temperatures, your highs drop down into the mid-50s. As we look into next week, they get as low as the low 40s. Wednesday in particular, you got 43 degrees. That means that the lows, if the highs are in the low 40s, the lows are getting down to the 20s. Definitely, I think that qualifies as being cold. You get down below freezing, that's cold. Those temperatures are going to stay in the 40s. Your highs are going to be in the 40s. Your lows are going to be in the 20s all week long. And in fact, that continues on to the week after that. But you're going to have to watch the community calendar next week to get more detailed information there. Most likely, though, no more precipitation after the weekend. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other things that are going on this coming month that we didn't necessarily talk about. Starting with Santa's community effort. We did talk about that, but remember, applications are running all through the month of November. So if you didn't get a chance early on, make sure you get a contact with Brian Gorham. Also, holidays. Who doesn't love holidays? November 24th, it's such a big event here in Vernal and downtown. All kinds of businesses and everybody gets involved. It's a great time. So we'll be talking more about that in upcoming local points and community calendars. Santa's Workshop Craft Fair is on November 24th and 25th, just in time for the month of December and the Christmas season. 25th, also my birthday. Guess how old I'm going to be? I don't know. Your answers could make me happy or sad, so be gentle. Also, Trees for Charity auction and gala, November 27th. What a great event that is. And of course, those trees are going to be on display during holidays. Great chance to also help families in need, help charitable organizations around the Uinta Basin. Hey, those are the events we have for this week's community calendar. If you've got an event coming up, let us know, 435-781-1902, or you can leave a comment below as usual. Hey, thank you for watching. Like VTV6 on Facebook. Just tell your friends about it. Be like, hey, VTV6 is cool. You should be cool too. We'll see you here next time. Yeah, they changed it in the prompter, so it was great.